It was giving magic. It was giving fantasy in the best way possible. Um, the gorgeous, gorgeous CGI, when we first see the horns in action and seeing the beautiful lush grass and the mushrooms just appear was oh. um, when she enters that kind of other, like goes through that portal, the land was just so lush, and it just makes you want to be there. And I liked the idea of this woman who's kind of just like this regular person going on a walk on her day, has now been challenged with this quest. It was very much a, the start of a hero's journey. And when this beautiful mythical beast comes alive, it's so grand and awe-inspiring, the way that these filmmakers were able to make it come alive and build this world and just like make us feel something, was really, really beautiful.
I thought it was very difficult to pull off these type of sort of sci-fi fantasy conceits, not having the access to a huge budget. And I like when pieces are able to use sort of very intimate setup. Obviously, with the opening of the two women, you don't have a context of the outside world or what's going on, and she's sort of having to bring in the scale and the scope of the story through their performances. And I thought that early on that worked really well as we moved into the woodland sequences. And in those spaces, I thought that generally the approach to cinematography and sort of set design and using that, using the locations, I thought worked quite well consistently throughout the piece. And there was sort of a surprising, what I thought at least, a surprising sense of scale towards the end when the actual fawn showed up. I thought it was very well done. I didn't really expect that quality of CGI animation to be present in this piece, and I thought it really worked well in sort of being impressive in both the construction of that sequence and of the actual costume design of the fawn. It's easy to have these kind of things look ridiculous, honestly, and the piece worked very well to give it a sense of sort of mysticism and spiritualism that I thought, spirituality that I thought worked well for the piece, both thematically and stylistically.
What set it apart for me was the gorgeous cinematography of nature, in combination with some stunning CGI. I also liked the mythological story off the top. The performance of the lead was so believable, as an innocent bystander who gets caught up in a world of danger and fantasy. I thought the rest of the cast was excellent too, very committed to their roles, good and evil. The exciting and soaring soundtrack was excellent, perfect for this film of heightened drama and stakes.
His short emphasizes the importance of restoration of land and those allied to the land. And nature is sort of like a healing and helping force. I think this short is like super action-packed and is really intense. Everyone really commits. All the actors very much commit to that. And I think the graphics and the CGI were really interesting. And, we don't really know a lot about who the antagonists are or their background, but this film does a really good job of, making us not really care about that, because we are so very much rooting for our protagonists, and we know about what the horns can do, and so we really don't care who the antagonists are doing. We just know that they are not doing what's best for the land, and I think this short does a really good job of really supporting its protagonists and creating that tension. And also, everyone just did a great job acting. And this film, I think, really makes you think about what sort of side you want to be on.
Exciting short. I think from the beginning we have a lot of running, and the main actors that they never stop, and everything happens in one place, in one location, in this forest, but there is really a fast pacing, which is really what gets you, is the hook of the short, is the pacing. From the beginning, you never stop, and there's no, there isn't any slow scene. Everything goes faster and faster until the tragic ending. I think that was a great job in terms of screenplay, but also in terms of direction and cinematography, plus performances, and all together they gave us this exciting short that really keeps you there from start to finish.
I liked that the horns were basically like creating growth and flowers and, plants in general, and just really signified, obviously, healing, but also like life and bringing life. And the two carriers of the horns before they were put into the fawn were both women, which I don't know if that was intentional or what, but it was something that I noticed, and I really kind of liked that. I thought that that was a really nice touch, and to have the opposite of that be these kind of aggressive men that were out to kind of control and destroy and, kind of bring destruction or chaos, I thought was an interesting kind of analog for the human race, not just, men specifically, but mankind. And I thought that was really, really interesting. Um, and then the fauna itself, which could easily be described as this kind of monster with horns and hooves and, kind of these stereotypical, very scary, very, down or almost demonic descriptions. But again, ultimately, that was bringing life, that was bringing healing. And I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a really nice kind of spin and twist on it.
Great performances and super cool special effects. I love it all. The blood and the wounds, then we have some fighting, then we have this blooming nature and that magically appears with the horns, and then we have the actual fawn makeup effects. But we also see the big majestic fawn coming to life with this all natural things, elements that conform this entity, this being. It's just magnificent, very dreamy. I love the music of Triumph all along.